What's up, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Shired podcast with DP, aka Despop, aka Jay Simino, and I will be your host throughout this shit show. And as always, this is primarily an X-centered show, although I will be posting to Rumble and YouTube. But please follow these X accounts, have fun, or f*** off. So how about Minnie again, huh? Before I get into the shooting, did you know that the majority of our country's ICE arrests and deportations come out of Texas? But this isn't happening there, is it? So what's the difference? Tim Walz is the difference. Jacob Frey is the difference. The white liberal female is the difference. That's it. ICE is in every major city in the country right now. This is not on ICE, folks. This is solely on Minnesota, and more specifically, Minneapolis. This is on Jacob Frey and Police Chief Brian Diana Ball. Full stop. So let's get into what I believe is a justified shoot. It's a messy shoot, but ultimately justified. First off, all you nitwits that claim he was just defending the woman. From who? Who was he defending the woman from? Police? Show me where that's remotely legal. Now, I know that saying you can't stop a cop from beating the shit out of a woman sounds kind of awful, and it does, but guess what? It's the fucking truth. You can't be the arbiter of that in real time, because if you're wrong, you're fucked, bro. Or in a lot of cases, you dead. Is anyone asking how convenient it is that from every angle being recorded by several different devices all seem to start recording at the same exact moment? They all start just before the officer pushes the female. No one has video 5 minutes prior? Come on. 10 minutes? 2 hours? I don't care that he pushed her if you won't show me why he pushed her. Don't say it's for nothing if you don't have what led up to it. Because we now know for a fact that Renee Good and her female husband were at it for hours that day. They received 50 gazillion warnings from the feds. At some point, the warnings end, and you need to get out of the fucking vehicle when you're told to. Where's Renee's wife's cell phone footage covering all her antics throughout that day? Likewise, where's the footage taken several minutes before the interaction we see here that ends with the male nurse unalived? A 37-year-old male with zero life skills who still needed to be guided by his parents on how to act in public, especially when dealing with law enforcement. You knew your son was retarded, but you were okay with him obtaining a carry permit? Cool story, bro. 2A, baby! But let me try to break down what I see. This is what I call a perfect storm. Once the dominoes start, they can't be stopped. And as unfortunate and messy as this shoot may look, it's perfectly legal, folks. It starts with not listening to your coddling moron parents. Don't engage police. What you call protests is actually impeding law enforcement. Obstructing police is illegal. Obstructing police while armed is extra illegal. And to the 2A absolutists out there, I'm not arguing against what you believe, that any and all gun laws are unconstitutional. But they do fucking exist, and you have to comply or die. Period. So my argument is not about right or wrong on constitutionality. And while some of you retards are guided solely by that, what good is it if you're dead? At least you stood up for yours, right? Fuck off. And here's what you cannot do under any current law, even if you have a concealed carry permit. You cannot commit a crime while in possession of that firearm, even if you're not using that firearm to commit said crime. Nope. If you plan on going out and committing a crime, whether that's a robbery or beating the shit out of your pain-in-the-ass neighbor or simply obstructing police, you cannot be armed. He left his house ignoring his parents' warnings with the sole purpose of committing the crime of obstructing police, if not worse, assaulting police. So no, he was not in legal compliance, and his concealed carry permit means nothing at that point. Further, if reports are to be believed, he didn't even have his state ID or concealed carry card on him. That's Antifa tradecraft, folks. Even if you believe all gun laws are unconstitutional, I can guarantee you always have your credentials on you when you're carrying, right? Whether you agree with it or not, all 2A people are sticklers for remaining within the current laws local to you. So saying he had a license to carry is completely irrelevant. He didn't have his credentials, and he was in the commission of a crime. Now let's get into the domino effect. Something I see that I don't hear people mentioning. He approaches the cop from behind. He makes contact with the officer engaged with the female. Coming up from behind a police officer is 100% a no-no. Again, especially while armed. Don't fucking touch the police. But it looks to me like this second woman, whether slipping on ice or just a complete fucking idiot, grabs him and pulls him deeper into the fray. But then watch this. It looks like he starts beefing with the female on the ground. It appears to me, and therefore could appear to the cops in the moment, hey, this guy comes from out of nowhere, creeps in behind us, and now he's beating the shit out of this woman. Look, folks, it looks like he's trying to rip her face off. To me, it looks like he's fighting her with what I think now is him probably just trying to break free of her. But, and here's the only but that matters, folks. Repeat after me. Graham v. Connor. Look it up. I'm tired of doing it for you and you don't fucking listen anyway. The big but here is, what are those officers observing in real time? It's not what you or I are observing a few days later. They might be thinking, holy shit, he's trying to kill her. See, it looks like now they're just trying to separate the two of them. And then in the wrestling, his jacket gets pulled up, the gun is clearly visible, the officers begin yelling, gun, gun, gun. The dominoes have already started. The adrenaline starts pumping, an agent comes up from behind to seize the gun, which is still holstered. In their possible tunnel vision, they just see a hand grabbing for the firearm. The firearm is removed. Because it's a SIG P320, it accidentally discharges, which they are famous for, and the dominoes are picking up speed. None of the cops know who or what or why at this point. They just know a shot is fired. Look up sympathetic trigger pull. They just know a shot is fired. The officer or officers open fire within a second of the gun being seized and discharging, all simultaneous to the nurse reaching for his holster and grabbing what appears to possibly be one of his spare magazines. And that right there proves that he was willing to use his firearm against federal agents. He reached for it, not realizing it wasn't there any longer. The totality of the circumstances in real time, not Monday morning quarterbacking, folks, but in real time. That's the only set of circumstances that matter legally: perception and reasonableness. Whereas to me, Renee Good was cut and dry, legit, justifiable shoot. This one is a total abortion. Any crimes committed by law enforcement here? Nope. Sorry. And for those attacking me over simply trying to explain basic law, as in do not ever interfere with law enforcement when they push some skank into a snowbank, because you cannot legally do anything about it except for showing up to court to speak on the woman's behalf. You have the same remedy as she does. Stay back and be a good witness, and please survive. You have no First Amendment right to obstruct. Protesting is banging pots and drums from across the street. It is not banging pots and drums in their direct path. For those of you douchebags that say, but what about the Boston Tea Party? We were in America then, you fucking douchebags. So it didn't apply. Two totally different fucking circumstances. You cannot impede. Or don't listen to me and keep fafoing. I'm trying to save you, but I will not mourn you.
Well, I've seen the videos just as thousands of people around the country have, and the videos speak for themselves. I think it's deeply concerning, the things that are being said. This is an individual that was a city resident. It appears that he was present, exercising his First Amendment rights to record law enforcement activity, and also exercising his Second Amendment rights to lawfully be armed in a public space in the city. So I think very obviously there are serious questions that are being raised. And I think the greater issue is, even if there is an investigation that ultimately proves that at the time of the shooting it was legally justified, I don't think that even matters at this point, because there is so much outrage and concern around what is happening in the city.
And this is why your comrades are dying, folks. Again, most deportations come out of Texas, but this is only happening in Minneapolis because this fake cop will take the collateral damage of your death and market the shit out of it. While his officers stay home and warm in bed, you're being encouraged by your mayor to get out and fight. Cool story, bro. And then on the flip side, listen to this douchebag.
But as Secretary Noem said, no one who wants to be peaceful shows up at a protest with a firearm that is loaded with 2 full magazines. That is not a peaceful protest.
Folks, he's just retarded. Legit. You can carry to a peaceful protest. You can be fully locked and loaded in the presence of police. Just don't ever physically engage law enforcement, which includes don't even get in their path and make yourself a focus for them. And please make sure you have your fucking credentials on you. Hands up, guns on this hip, officer, IDs in this back pocket. Don't fucking move. These guys are perfectly legal here. However, they should know that in the presence of law enforcement, if those rifles move any higher than the low ready position, they will get legally brained. What's the accepted definition of insanity, folks? Trying the same shit over and over again, but expecting a different result every time? They are standing where the nurse got. Fellas, use extra caution. Again, I will not mourn you. And this here is why the mama's boy chose to FAFO for this inbred idiot.
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice. You know, people don't really see, like, you know, it's you know, people don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice, but that's what it's like to be Somali and American. It's like that combination of banana and rice, but you're gonna get what I mean.
Now a second to showcase something cool. It's the first ever Shired podcast with DP mug. Check it out, folks. See it? Pretty cool, huh? But this is no ordinary mug. I've titled this one the Minnesota mug, as you clearly saw my show logo on one side, and on the other, Antifa Hearts Pedos. Hey, if Democrats say Antifa doesn't exist, that means their official logo doesn't exist. So they can't fucking sue me. Ha! Let's give them a taste of capitalism. What are they going to do? If they sue me, then they'll be exposed as an organization. Abracadabra, Holmes, come at me. And for those in the Alphabet Mafia that want to show their support, because in my estimation, both groups are intertwined, here's your edition. Can you see it? How's that? This is just a mock-up, but I am thinking of my Democrats B logo on the other side. That elephant there is federal law enforcement. The donkey is in full FAFO mode. $10 plus shipping as is. $15 plus shipping if you want it personalized. DM, bitches. Now for some real dumb cops.
That's enough. I'm done. Either you fucking take me or this, or I'm fucking done. No, take
See? That's a fucking crime, folks, what that officer just did. And he is in the process of paying for it. Hey, a message to Warren Smith. I like your stuff, bro. I have zero attention span, and your short clips are always enjoyable, no matter how dry as fuck you are. But anyone who showcases the leprechaun on the right will get unfollowed by me. I was all Tim Pool Nation, but he brought this on one too many times. Tim Pool is no longer in my feed. Do better, bro. Now to pivot to some fun stuff. This one made me chuckle.
Been wanting to twirl all day, so I'm gonna twirl now.
And the word of the day comes from Larry Conga. 4 titties? I'm in, baby. Now it's time for We Was Kangs.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Followed by white people. And we'll finish with a timeline cleanse that I like to call My America. No context humans take us out. Later, bitches.
Get him, Jay.
I'm not a cop.
You got DP'd.